What is going on, gatekeepers? Welcome back to the channel, your #1 sanctuary for everything beyond the gates. If you are new here, grab your coffee, grab your tea, or grab something stronger because, let me tell you, we need to talk about what is happening in the DMV this Friday, January 16th, 2026. I hope you've recovered from the holiday episodes because the writers are not letting us breathe. We are looking at the spoilers for Friday's episode, and let me be real with you for a second, this isn't just a filler episode. This feels like a pivotal shifting point for the entire season. We have Chelsea dropping a bombshell that I don't think any of us are ready for. We have the Ted and Shanice ship finally sailing out of the harbor, hopefully without hitting an iceberg named Leslie, and we have what I believe is the absolute birth of a supervillain in Derek. I have read through the teaser lines about 10 times this morning, and I have thoughts, I have theories, and I have some major concerns about the mental state of the Dupree women. So, buckle up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and let's dissect the drama piece by piece. 1. Chelsea's major news: genetics or geography. Let's start with the headline act. Chelsea? The spoilers tell us explicitly that Chelsea has major news to share with her family. Now, on the surface, the obvious answer, low-hanging fruit that casual viewers might grab is the medical test results. We know the anxiety hanging over this family regarding the BRCA gene. We know her mother carries it. We know her grandmother's history. The tension has been palpable. However, I want to challenge that assumption. I want us to dig deeper into the psychology of Chelsea right now. Think back to her conversation with Madison. That wasn't just a chat about medical anxiety. That was an existential crisis unfolding in real time. Chelsea explicitly said that this health scare is making her realize she doesn't want to play it safe anymore. She reminisced about the days of going to the airport and just picking a random destination. That is not the talk of someone who is just going to sit down and say, "Hey guys, here are my test results." That is the talk of someone who is about to blow up their current life structure. My theory: I don't think the major news is just the test result. I think the test result, whether positive or negative, is the catalyst for a radical life change. I suspect Chelsea is going to announce she is leaving. Maybe not permanently, but I think she is going to announce a move, a trip, or a massive career pivot that takes her away from the safety of the family net. Why is this dangerous? Because the Dupree family is currently in a state of fragile cohesion. If Chelsea decides to go eat, pray, love across Europe right now, how does that impact Naomi? How does that impact her mom? It feels like Chelsea is processing her fear of mortality by running towards chaos, whereas the rest of her family processes fear by trying to control everything. Also, look at Madison's reaction. The spoilers say Madison looked worried. Madison knows Chelsea better than anyone. If Chelsea was just sharing test results, Madison would be supportive, anxious maybe, but not worried in that specific way. Worried implies that Chelsea is making a rash decision. Is she selling her shares? Is she breaking off a relationship? Is she eloping? I want you guys to comment below. Do you think Chelsea is just reading a medical paper, or is she about to drop a bomb that changes the family dynamic for the rest of 2026? Because my money is on the latter. This feels like a character seeking liberation through impulsivity, and in the world of Beyond the Gates, impulsivity usually leads to disaster before it leads to peace. 2. The Ted and Shanice era, and the ghost of triangles past. Alright, let's pivot to the romance department. It is 2026, and the writers are finishing us some movement on the Ted and Shanice front. The spoilers say they are cranking up the heat and taking their connection to the next level. Can we just take a moment to appreciate how refreshing this is? After the absolute train wreck that was the love triangle of 2025, seeing Ted in a dynamic that feels stable. It's weird, right? It almost feels too good to be true. Let's analyze the chessboard here. We have Leslie distracted with Detective Marcel Malone, a dangerous pairing. By the way, you still don't trust Marcel, but that's a video for another day. We have Nicole dating Carlton. This clears the runway for Ted and Shanice. The psychology of the couple. Why do Ted and Shanice work right now? Because Ted is a man who has been emotionally battered by indecision and manipulation. Shanice represents clarity. She is a supervising nurse, she is organized, she is caring, but she is no nonsense. Ted, being a plastic surgeon, appreciates precision, but in his personal life, he's been surrounded by mess. Shanice is the anti-mess. But here is where I play the skeptic. I want to believe in this romance. I want to believe that Friday's episode is going to give us some beautiful, genuine intimacy. But this is a soap opera. Happiness is usually just a setup for a harder fall. The Leslie factor. We cannot ignore Leslie. Just because she is having fun with Marcel does not mean she has relinquished her claim on Teddy. We know Leslie. She is territorial. Right now, she is distracted, but the moment she sees Ted and Shanice actually happy, like real happy, not just dating happy, that green-eyed monster is going to come out. I predict that Friday's episode will give us a beautiful moment between Ted and Shanice, maybe a declaration of exclusivity, maybe even a key exchange, but mark my words. The camera will cut to Leslie watching from a distance, or receiving a text, or just having a realization. The busted love triangle isn't dead, it's just dormant. And frankly, I don't think Ted is fully over the chaos yet. Men like Ted say they want peace, but they are often addicted to the drama. Is Shanice safe for him? Will he get bored? I'm rooting for them, but I'm keeping one eye open. 3. Naomi spiraling control issues. Now, let's talk about Naomi. If there is one character who I am genuinely worried about for this Friday episode, it is Naomi. The spoilers say she is feeling the pressure mount, and that she feels pressured by Jacob. We need to talk about the Dupree woman archetype. These are women who thrive on control. They run businesses, they manage families, they look immaculate while doing it. But the Achilles heel of the Dupree women is the unknown. The BRCA gene situation is the ultimate unknown. It is something they cannot strategize their way out of. It is biological roulette. The Jacob problem. Jacob, bless his heart, is trying to be the supportive partner, but he is walking into a minefield. The spoilers suggest Naomi feels pressured by him. I don't think Jacob is intentionally pressuring her. I think Jacob is trying to fix things, or perhaps he's pushing for a commitment or a step forward in their relationship that Naomi simply cannot handle right now. When a control freak feels like they are losing control of their body, the genetic testing, they will overcompensate by exerting extreme control over their relationships. My prediction for Friday, I think we are going to see a massive blow-up. A totally irrational, defensive explosion from Naomi directed at Jacob. She is going to use him as a punching bag for her anxiety. She might even try to break up with him or push him away under the guise of "I need space," but really, it's a defense mechanism. She's terrified that, if the test results are bad, she becomes a burden. The text mentions they might need an emergency appointment with their therapist, and honestly, that's the best advice I've read all day. Naomi is a pressure cooker right now. If Jacob asks the wrong question, even something simple like, "Have you heard from the doctor?" or "What do you want for dinner?" she might snap. This is classic tragedy in the making, pushing away the people you need the most because you're too afraid to be vulnerable. Watch for the dialogue between them on Friday. I bet it's going to be sharp, fast, and painful. 4. The villain origin story. Derek, Ashley, and Grayson. Okay, folks, we need to get to the juicy part. The part that has me rubbing my hands together like a cartoon villain. Derek. The spoilers say Derek does not like what he sees. He could spot Ashley with Grayson, and then it asks the golden question, was Ashley calling off their engagement his villainous origin story? Yes. 1,000 times, yes. Let's analyze Derek. For a long time, Derek has been the nice guy. He was the fiance who got left behind. He was the one we were supposed to feel sorry for. But Beyond the Gates does a great job of showing how grief and rejection can curdle into something toxic. We've seen Ashley hitting it off with Grayson. Grayson is new, he's fresh, he has no baggage with her. They are going on another date. They are happy. And then there is Derek, watching from the shadows. Why this is a villain turn? If Derek was just sad, he would go home and cry or talk to a friend. But spotting them and having a reaction that implies what would Derek do suggests action. It suggests interference. I have a theory that Derek is about to transition from heartbroken ex to obsessive stalker. We have seen this trope before. But I think the actor playing Derek has the range to make this really creepy. I don't think he's going to confront them directly on Friday. I think he's going to start gaslighting. I think he's going to start manipulating situations behind the scenes to make Grayson look bad. Think about it. He knows Ashley's triggers. He knows her secrets. He can use that information to plant seeds of doubt. This is dangerous because Ashley is finally smiling again. Grayson represents a fresh start. Derek represents the anchor trying to drag her back down. I am predicting a scene on Friday where Derek watches the maybe through a window. Maybe from across a restaurant, and the look on his face isn't sadness anymore. It's calculation. It's rage. And honestly, I am here for it. Every show needs a chaotic element, and if Derek wants to burn it all down because he can't have her, that is going to make for some incredible television in the coming weeks. 5. Eva's redemption via trauma. Finally, a quick touch on Izaiah and Eva. The spoilers mention that Eva is dealing with family drama fallout, and Izaiah is comforting her. We have to acknowledge the character arc of Eva. Remember when she was actively trying to sabotage things? Remember when she was the one causing the drama? Now, she is the victim of it. This relationship with Izaiah is fascinating because it seems to be built on him saving her. He is the knight in shining armor, and she is the damsel in distress right now. But is that sustainable? The contrast, while everyone else is fighting Naomi, Jacob, or plotting Derek, Izaiah and Eva seem to be the only ones building a foundation of trust. However, I worry that Eva is becoming dependent on Izaiah's stability. What happens when the crisis passes? Does Eva go back to her old ways? For Friday, I expect some tender scenes here. This will be the palate cleanser of the episode. Amidst Chelsea's panic, Naomi's rage, and Derek's stalking, we will get Izaiah holding Eva's hand. Enjoy it, folks, because in this town, peace is just the intermission between wars. So, to recap the madness coming this Friday, January 16th, Chelsea is likely about to run away or blow up her life to escape her genetic destiny. Ted and Shanice are getting hot, but the shadow of Leslie looms large. Naomi is on the verge of a nervous breakdown and might take Jacob down with her. Derek is officially entering his Joker era, and Ashley needs to watch her back. I need to know your thoughts. Specifically, tell me in the comments, do you trust Derek? Do you think he's just a sad ex, or do you agree with me that he's about to become the season's biggest antagonist? And what do you think Chelsea's news really is? If you enjoyed this deep dive, please smash that like button. It helps the algorithm so much, and share this with your fellow gatekeepers. We have a long weekend of speculation ahead of us, and I want to hear all your theories. Until next time, keep your gates locked, keep your secrets closed, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.